Thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. It has been a hot minute, a hot year since I updated you all with a new sketch file. 11 months ago to be precise. The last episode I posted was me sketching and painting the character Jinx from the Netflix series Arcane and game League of Legends. Now I've had quite the busy year with my main focus creating a large body of work on the easel. That has been my main focus this year, and that has meant me having little to not much time at all to overly work in a sketchbook. And as the year draws even closer to an end, I'm about to make a goal that I will paint, sketch or do something in a sketchbook every day, at least with the high hopes and intention of doing something in a sketchbook every day or every other day from here on out, because I have never been able to complete one. You see this pile right here? Yeah, all of those are sketchbooks and I have started them but I've never completed them. They're collecting dust right now. And no one likes dusty piles. I also have so many sketchbooks because I've been making some key observations on which ones best suit my work ethic. It's difficult to stay consistent in a sketchbook when you don't really know at first which ones do suit your work ethic the best. I find that I keep on coming back to this one particular moleskin because it fits everything I like to do, which is pretty much work with most mediums. So I'm starting afresh and this is now my second watercolour sketchbook. I've obviously worked in this before with a large variety of mediums. With only a few pages left barren in the first one, I was more than ready to start a new one in this video today. Now I did buy this larger A4 watercolour moleskin as well so I can work on larger scale ideas, designs, concepts. Until these two moleskins are completely completed, then I won't be starting any other personal sketchbooks anytime soon, unless I'm asked to review a specific sketchbook, of course. Before I continue with today's video, I want to talk to you guys about some classes that I recently found on Skillshare. Now, if you've never heard of Skillshare before, it is an online community that helps people learn new skills and expand on their creative interests. With such a huge variety of topics to explore, from marketing, leveling up your social media skills, photography and web development, Skillshare has a very wide variety of classes to choose from, even including music and cooking. There's something for everyone who is wanting to explore a new skill or develop something you've been passionate about even more progressively. So, if you have been watching my channel for quite some time now, you'll know that back in June, I bought the iPad Pro to utilise the Procreate on. Having known little to nothing about digital art at the time, Maurizio de Angelis classes helped me find the confidence in myself to continue to advance my work digitally. With Maurizio's classes, learn 15 easy painting techniques on the Procreate and digital painting in the Procreate for beginners. I was able to evolve my skills on the Procreate. Everything that I felt like that was a little bit negative and weighing me down about drawing and painting digitally fell away with the help of Maurizio's classes. Now I was able to learn so much from him. I can now paint and draw on my iPad with confidence and consistency. With my love for painting traditionally, I really wanted to learn to paint digitally as well. The first 1,000 people who use a link in my description will receive a 1-month free trial of Skillshare Premium. Now back to the video. What I really like about this sketchbook in particular though is that the pages are identical on both sides and can take two heavy mediums on both sides. The paper does not buckle with heavy body mediums or heavy body of water. The pages are great quality, coming in at 200 GSM. Now you can really work the paper and layer up with inks, watercolours and acrylics. So I mainly work with acrylics, so this is why it's pretty ideal for me. But if I want to experiment more, which is what I got this for, then it's pretty perfect and fitting for what I want to be able to do. And my last one I worked with everything too, from acrylics, graphite, watercolour, etc. So you get the general idea. So I started out on what seemed like a very daunting first page at the time, and of course I'm starting with the medium that I'm most familiar with. But later on in the video you'll see that I actually embrace some old school vibes by sketching with a black biro right at the very front of the sketchbook. So I kind of created an introductory spread with the biro sketches. So I did this after the painting that you are seeing unfold now, and I sketched with the biros to take some of that new sketchbook pressure off, that intimidating feeling away of a new sketchbook. It took the pressure off of needing or wanting things to be so perfect, because you don't have to be. It's a sketchbook and it's a place for flaws and all, and to work on those flaws. So I always start a new sketchbook with a medium that I'm most familiar with, because the fear of not messing up fades away a lot quicker than it would me jumping straight on with something I have zero to only somewhat clues about, although I've done my fair share of experimenting in the past. So I'm painting this canal boat from one of my most recent walks in Castlefield, Manchester. It was an ice cold morning. We experienced frost like a couple of days prior to like this walk, and it was just stone cold. And it has been ever since. So in the matter of seconds, my fingertips had turned into that of an 80-year-old. Should have worn gloves. But straight after this walk, I got a Starbucks, so all was well with the world again. It's all good, folks. I just love walking around Castlefield because I always get inspired by the city and the big concrete jungle. And not only that as well, I really love the urban wildlife too. So you'll see all of this kind of vibe throughout all of the body of paintings that I've done in the past. So yeah, it's what I've been all about. But I also every now and again like to branch out and paint something a bit different, a bit unusual. I'm very much into like 80s sci-fi and cyberpunk, and I'm also into spooky aesthetic as well. Like I love all things like that. So that's like another side of me that I would like to explore in this sketchbook too. So I wasn't particularly looking for clear skies at the time. However, I wanted to go for something like slightly more grungier and moodier to what you can see here, but there will always be time for that. So when I paint Manchester on a clear day, I always find that my paintings come out slightly more illustrative than overly realistic. But I guess that's okay too. I mean, I really do like to illustrate, but don't always have enough time to do so. Maybe I can work on that more in this sketchbook in the future. I'd also like to create some new stickers in here, perhaps sketch some designs out, then colour them in the Procreate. So yeah, we shall see, friends, we shall see, all in good time. So here's an example of what I mean by the illustrative vibe. I painted the Sanderson sisters cottage from Hocus Pocus in one of my other moleskins, and yeah, that just really got me embracing the magical storybook vibes. And I used to always love reading spooky stories when I was a kid. I used to have like a ton of Goosebumps books and all of that jazz. But one thing that got me the most when I used to go to the bookstore when I was a kid was obviously all the illustrations, and particularly the spooky ones always stood out. So yeah, I'm going off on a tangent here, but I definitely want to draw and paint in a more illustrative way in the future. It's actually a lot more fun to paint in that way anyway. So I started the first page, then I did the biro sketches, then lastly I stuck a bunch of stickers on the front. So I'm pretty sure I should have done it the other way around. So I should have done the stickers first, then I should have done the introductory page. I just so badly wanted to just whip the band-aid off of this moleskin and just start the first page. So in no particular order, I present to you the start of my new sketchbook. Please do let me know as well if you would like to see more sketchbook sessions from me like this, because I don't know, guys. Let me know if this is your thing, if you like seeing these spreads, because yeah, I have shared with you guys now like so many painting time lapses and different acrylic studies, and I feel like a lot of what I've shown so far has been all acrylic paint based, so I'd like to steer away from that ever so slightly too in this sketchbook. But yeah, I guess we'll just see how it goes.